Hi, Josh.
Hi, Lee.
I haven't talked to you in 3 days, which in regular people's time doesn't sound that long, but considering everything you've been doing on the journey, it probably seems like a lifetime to you. So don't tell me about everything, but tell me maybe highlights or what's on your mind.
Well, well, we kind of moved into land territory. In the Rio Grande Valley and all the way up through Texas, through El Paso, where all those people are streaming across the river. We're talking about a river. Well, now we're in country where the river is kind of turned up to the north, and the separation between the two countries is all on land, and all of that land is a remote desert. I mean, it's dry. Water becomes the issue. I mean, it's just like the most amazing thing. You see it and you wonder how anybody ever could survive the trip that we're taking with a car if they don't have a car, and if they don't have water, and if they don't have supplies. And yet, there's still an amazing amount of infrastructure and personnel assigned to making sure that people don't get across. Here's one thing that they do all along the border. They put a road next to the border wall, and a dirt road, and they drag tires on it 2-3 times a day. Now, the reason they do that is so that they can come back and detect footprints. Now, how often they find those footprints, I can't say, and how often, whether the news has gotten below the border and whether people know to avoid those roads, I can't say either. But we've got a lot of people spending a lot of their time with tires, big tires, dragged behind their vehicles.
This is official, folks. This is Border Patrol doing this, right?
This is Border Patrol. That's what the Border Patrol does. The Border Patrol does that while the CBP mans the stations, or inhabits the stations. Mans, I guess, is the wrong expression these days. They and one of the places we went to was a place called Antelope Wells. Antelope Wells is in New Mexico. You have to go miles and miles and miles. You got to go, good 2 hours out of the way of any human being. You go down there, and there are a couple of guys assigned down there. I imagine what I hear, actually, I was told that they rotate out, because if they stayed there, they'd go nuts. There's nothing there. There's just absolutely nothing there. And yet there's miles and miles and miles of wall on either side of this place. Well, Antelope Wells came to our attention because it was a place where young Jacqueline, a Guatemalan girl, came across with her father. Her father tried to alert the CBP and the Border Patrol that his daughter was sick. They paid no attention to him. They put them on a bus. And by the time she got to the hospital, having finally been convinced that she needed aid, she died. And I think a lot of us were down in Texas at that time. I was over in Tornillo, and the news broke our hearts. And we tried to picture for a long time what Antelope Wells might look like. It looks like the ends of the earth. It's right on the southern tip of the Continental Divide. And in both directions, the wall just stretches out. Beautiful new wall. Beautiful. I take that with a grain of salt. It's very new. It's very well made. It's very well constructed. And I don't imagine it does much good at all, because you can't come up from the south without dying of thirst if you're on foot. And you can't get out of there if you'd managed to get over the wall without water, without help.
Are these the areas where volunteers have been leaving water for the migrants in case they come across?
I don't know if anybody leaves water there. The place we're in today, Nogales, we just arrived here in Nogales. We're going to be taken out tomorrow. Some of us are going to be doing a water drop. Some of us are going to be walking around looking for people who've come across and helping them out and helping them to some kind of safety. But this is the area where they're doing it. Here, I think people might do it there, but I don't know of anything organized in the Antelope Wells area.
And according to, I think, one of the posts someone put up, in this desolate area, they've got aerial blimps watching for people to come across?
Yeah, there are tethered blimps. They look a little like, those little goldfish that kids get, little packages of goldfish, except except it's like they left out the yellow dye. And so up in the sky, there are these things that look like goldfish that you could crunch on, but they're white. They're clear, clean white. And yeah, we look up at them, and I suppose they look down at us.
I'm never going to look at a goldfish the same again.
Yeah, neither am I.
So you're more than halfway through the journey. How many more days left?
Lee, you're going to have to just check your paperwork, because I, I am absolutely too spaced out to be able to answer that question. Whatever it is, whatever number of days there are left, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it through those days.
You sound fine, Josh. Nothing to worry about.
Okay, good. Glad to hear it.
We'll be in touch. Take care.
Thanks a lot, Lee.
Thank you.